Good afternoon from the Bauhaus Museum in Dessau. So I'm just in front of the building, and it's that building behind me, basically. And yeah, Bauhaus is a style that was first, let's say, conceptualized, first theoreticized by Walter Gropius, which was a German-American actually, a German-American architect. And he put the basis of the style of Bauhaus. And yeah, Bauhaus actually started in Weimar first, around 1919-ish or before, but it took off here in Dessau. Yeah, so Dessau, it's a city of about 67,000 people, and it has this kind of things. It has Art Deco, it has Bauhaus, sorry, Bauhaus. They're very similar to me, Bauhaus and Art Deco. For some reason, I'm like architecture ignorant. Apologize. And yeah, you have a lot of Bauhaus stuff here. Except the museum. Many buildings of this town are in Bauhaus style. And yeah, I can still tell the difference. So, yeah, let's find out which are these buildings, and let's find out what else does Dessau have to offer. Because I'm sure it has plenty of other buildings, plenty of other stuff that predate the Bauhaus era, which was like more than 100 years ago already. Can you believe it? So yeah, let's check it out. So yeah, just in front of me, there's a sample of a Bauhaus building. Basically this building. So most of this stuff is functional, has like square, straight edges. Usually, the name of the building is written on the side. And yeah, so this is a sample of a building that it's built in Bauhaus style. Even these things over here, these apartments over here with balconies, are also in Bauhaus style. So something like this, but they were done 100 years ago or 110 years ago. So in that time, these kind of things were no less than revolutionary. So they were very, very ahead of their time. And of course, as you can see, Dessau has also other things like shopping center. So Dessau is not that small, you know. It's pretty well, let's say, fitted with all the utilities of modern life. It's a pretty nice area here near the Bauhaus Museum. It's a very nice building over there, the Deutsche Post, huge building. So, the Bauhaus was in the same time period. Like, I'm a person that doesn't know much architecture, but I'm just stating the obvious facts for me. Was in the same time period with the beginning of the Russian Revolution, with the Art Deco. So there were like styles that were trying to renew life, renew architecture, and make room for the new and put the past behind us kind of vibe, kind of motion, you know? And this kind of movement with their, let's say, cost-efficient, time-efficient, let's say, space-efficient construction techniques made possible for the average person to own its own space, his own little space, his own apartment or room or whatever. So you didn't have to either own a castle or live in the slums. There was the time of a person that has, let's say, modest to average means to have a decent place to live. Decent by, let's say, by 1900 style. And imagine. And basically they're just functional apartments. Functional apartment buildings and functional, let's say, office buildings, some of them. But yeah, Dessau has also the old kind of architecture, and I'm going to try to find the old town basically. And I think there's a Marienkirche, and I think I found the building. So it's pretty impossible. imposing. Yeah, pretty grand. There's a huge bell in front of it, as a monument or something of a sort. Actually, it's great. Like, this church is one beautiful building, and it's very, very imposing, as I was trying to say at the beginning of this phrase, and did not quite manage to do so. Actually, huge mistake, huge correction. This is actually the Rathaus, the building behind me. So yeah, it's a majestic, imposing building, but it's the Rathaus. And the church should be right next to it, because there's another building that looks like a church and is glued next to it. So yeah, big mistake. It is the Rathaus, which is the city hall. And this thing, that thing in front of us, that is the Marienkirche, and is no less imposing. This word is like doing my head in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So it's no less imposing than the Rathaus. Dessau is a pretty nice little city. Right. Very, very interesting place. Dessau. And yeah, Marienkirche is not too shabby. But yeah, I heard that also in Dessau there's a special building called the Bauhaus building. So it's probably one of the first buildings that it was built in this style. So it is on the opposite side of town. So I have to just cross a couple of kilometers and find it and see how it looks like. Hi, so I'm just in front of the Bauhaus building, as you can see behind me. And yeah, this is where it all started, let's say. Yeah. So this is the style, and this was like a grouping of tenements, of studio flats that had like communal areas, kitchens, communal balconies and all that stuff. But still the rooms were individual, and for that time it was amazing. Like, you have to take into account that people's living standards more than 100 years ago were not that great. Actually, they were awful. Anyway, and this is like an improvement. So that's why Bauhaus is important. And also, Bauhaus as an artistic current, it was like a precursor of punk. It was like 50, 60 years before punk really started coming in. And yeah, the ideas of simplicity, no fuss, directness, simplicity in architecture, in expression, everything came from Bauhaus. So it's very important for the world civilization and Europe civilization in the end. Yeah, so live from Dessau, I'm telling you to subscribe to the channel. Also click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I'm actually giving you important news like this one. Important documentaries from cities and places in Germany and around the world that, let's say, revolutionized how we think, how we act, and how we live. And yeah, you know the drill. So far so good. So what? Bye bye.